Merry Christmas, idiots!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! It's the beginning of December, and we're going to talk about traditions. This lovely lady is my mom. She knows all about our family traditions.
I do.
So I'm going to start with your favorite Christmas tradition.
My favorite?
Out of all, not only what we do, but like when you were a child. Like, what is your favorite one that you
Probably opening presents at midnight.
Mine's opening presents at midnight.
Yeah, I like finding the pickle in the tree. It's so intense, and I love it.
Okay, what is the worst tradition that you've been a part of?
Opening one gift at a time on Christmas Day at my in-laws' house.
Oh my God, that's mine too!
Each person would open a gift, like a child would open a gift, and then after that gift is open, it goes to the next person. You might have 20 gifts in front of you. It goes around 20 times until you run out of
I
gifts.
remember where it's like there was a really big Christmas at their house, and it was like 30 people, and it's just waiting, and then it's like everybody be like, oh, yay, oh, that's so cute. Hold it up.
Let's take a picture.
And there's one time that I opened up the wrong gift. I explained this last
I
time.
remember that.
And they didn't let me open up another one. They just made me give it to Jenna. And then Jenna got to open up a gift. And I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
Plus, it was something that I really wanted, too. So.
I remember that.
Oh, that was probably the worst.
I'm sorry.
What was the worst for you?
Probably going to sleep and having to wait for Santa Claus because we had to go to sleep. And you guys are like, okay, kids, go to bed while we're all riled up.
That's true. See, I remember at Grandma's house, half the adults would go to midnight mass, the kids would go to bed, and then when they came back, we woke up and opened presents because that's when Santa came.
So this is what happened, actually. Okay? Tell you the truth. The women would go to midnight mass. Well, my dad had to go because he was an usher. So my dad, my mother, and of course when I was younger I had to go, but I was able to stay at the house when I got older. They went to church and midnight mass. And then you had Grandpa, Grandma, my brothers, and they would play poker while the kids went to sleep, and the women would be talking about whatever women were there. So we did separate in the house. So the guys were playing poker, the girls were talking, and the kids were in bed.
Until everybody came home.
Until when they got home from church at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's when we were able to open our presents, and we lasted till about 4 o'clock opening.
Yeah, because
then we ate.
We had. I remember there was always food on the table. We had uncles, aunts, there's friends that lived next door. Brenda,
Dan.
Yeah, they would come over. It was just a huge thing. But we didn't open one present at a time.
No.
So that was fun.
That was fun. Yes.
Okay, what else do I have? Okay, what do you have about traditions? Because I have some traditions and some history behind traditions.
Okay, the first tradition is opening at midnight, of course. That's
Wait,
the
do you know
one
where that came from, or was that just something that...
My father did it in Italy when he was a little boy, so it came from my great-great-grandparents on my father's side.
Okay, that's pretty
where they would open up, the tradition was to open it up at midnight because that's exactly when Christmas started, on Christmas Day at midnight.
I like that.
It was, and then Christmas Eve, Mom and Dad always had a party leading to opening the presents, and that's when I was little, that's when all my aunts and uncles and cousins came over, and we would have food on the table because we never ate a dinner on Christmas Eve. It was basically, we would prepare the pasta, if anything, because that was all done by hand. We would have bricioli, we would have candies and cakes and pies, everything on the table, so after we opened presents, you were able to snack on the food. Because you're always hungry after you open presents.
Either hungry or tired.
Yeah. And then my cousins would spend the night. They'd be passed out on the floor, on the couch, wherever there was. I would bundle up with my cousin Kathy. And we would sleep together in my twin bed because we were small enough. So it was always... And then Christmas Day, everybody woke up. And the women would start baking. That's it.
Christmas cooking.
And the Christmas cooking. And the guys would either sit down and play poker, or actually they would watch a movie and then fall asleep. because they snacked all the way through the movie. So they got their tummies full in the afternoon. They'd take a nap before dinner.
I like that.
So that was the way I grew up with.
Okay. What's another tradition?
Another tradition is an older tradition or a newer tradition?
Whatever you have.
Okay, well, Grandma's fruitcake, okay? My grandmother, on my mother's side, would make always these blocks of fruitcake. I always hated fruitcakes. It was the worst thing that you can feed a child, okay? So
punishment.
My grandma would make like 6 or 8 loaves. They were like little loaves of bread. They were my brothers and I started hiding them every year, and then we ended up building a wall after about 10 years.
What do you mean
we were able to build a wall of fruit cakes. This is after Grandma passed away.
Did you hide them and just never threw them away?
Yeah. Yeah, we put them in plastic wrap, and we wrapped them, and then we put tin foil around it, so they never really spoiled. But all we did was take off the tin foil, and then we just started stacking them. I put them underneath my bed. That's the tradition. You put things underneath your bed. That's where you can keep a lot of stuff without actually telling people that you got a lot of stuff.
That is hilarious.
So between my brothers and I say we had maybe about 25, 30 cakes that after Grandma passed away, of course, this is when we became an adult. I was like 20. And we kind of got together and this is before you guys were born. We stacked them up and we had a wall.
That is hilarious. A wall of fruitcakes.
From 1965.
Oh.
Because we hate them. Grandma would make them and think everybody loves them. Well, the adults loved them, but I can't stand
I've had fruitcake and I don't like fruitcake at all.
I don't like fruitcake. It's nasty.
We'll buy you
You're
a
lucky.
fruitcake. No, this year
I got a
she's
recipe.
Experiencing fruitcake.
I got a recipe for liquor fruitcake.
Leave out the fruit.
Leave out the fruit with the liquor in it. Okay.
What else you got?
Let's see. Snacks on Christmas Day. After, of course, we cooked every Christmas morning. We would make the homemade pasta. I remember my Aunt Yo and my Aunt Coco and my Aunt Andrea, they would all come over and we would make fresh pasta. So we would make pasta or gnocchi in the morning, and Dad would make the big old pot of spaghetti sauce. And, that was pretty much Christmas dinner. I mean, we might have a ham. We might have pork chops. We might have some, but the main meal.
So we'd have snacks on Christmas Eve and then
snacks on Christmas Day with the dinner. Yeah. And it was always pasta.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
And that's about it. I got new ones.
Okay, what are some new Christmas ones?
What do you think are new Christmas ones? What do you
Games, Christmas Eve.
Games on Christmas Eve and Easter. I think those two holidays are the ones that you started.
Yeah, so it's like since I don't have little kids anymore and we don't put them to bed or anything like that, nobody really does anything. We all just fall asleep until midnight and then our alarms go off and we wake up and everybody opens presents. So then it's like if we play games throughout the night, we come up with our own games or find a game and recreate it or something like that. And we'll just play great games probably from 6 to midnight throughout the entire night. Winning presents, doing white elephant. We'll have a pile of presents here and switch gifts, steal gifts, do that all night long. And then at midnight, we'll probably open up the game gifts or we'll open the game gifts before and then open the presents since Santa came.
Yeah, that's right. While we were rushing around the house,
we also do that at Easter too, where we just play games for Easter.
And we could do, I think last year or the year before, we went outside and we played games.
It was the year before because last year it was raining.
Yeah, so we had the checkerboard. So we were able to play games with the checkerboard. We had the fire pit going. We had darts. I think we had the darts with the balloons one time. So it was it's a great tradition.
That's more outdoor games for Easter, and then Christmas is indoor. We have a punch cup. We have trivia. We have scavenger hunts. And we personalize them too, for us, how many fish are in the house?
Yeah, that was last year. How many Magnus does Grandma really have?
Yeah, without counting them, you have to write down the numbers. So those are our games for Christmas. What else do we have?
Let's see. Of course, the pickle. Now, the pickle in the tree came from my son-in-law, Nathan. He's the one that introduced us to the pickle in the tree.
Now, I have where the pickle originated from, so I'll explain that in a little bit.
Okay. But that's one of the newest ones, probably within the last, 10 years, 11 years, something like that, that he introduced us to the pickle in the tree. And it's like, that's a great tradition. So now we do it with a prize at the end. Mm-hmm. So after the presents are done, after, underneath the tree is all cleared out of all presents and we opened up everything, that's pretty much the last prize to shoot for, is to get that pickle, and then they win a prize.
Mm-hmm. And it's always so well hidden.
And it's always so well
it's like
hidden.
The pickle is like usually an ornament. She had a real pickle last year.
I could not find the pickle ornament, so a real pickle went in the tree last year.
That threw everybody off. That threw everybody off.
That was fun, though.
What is this gooey thing? It's the pickle.
It's a pickle. But yeah, that's what we do. I think another tradition is not just necessarily, I don't know, it's hereditary. It could be hereditary, but it seems like we do a lot of crafts. My grandmother was a crafty woman. She china painted and did ceramics. My mother did ceramics, knitting, tatting, sewing, quilting. I did quilting, sewing, knitting, ceramics. She does it. My son does it. And it's just, I don't know if that's a tradition, but it seems like the craft bug is in all of us to make something from scratch somehow. And really, like, I don't know, it could be a tradition that I passed down, because I did crafts when she was little, but my mother did crafts when I was little. So I think because of her doing it, God, I like doing that stuff. And maybe that's where you got it from. Even your brother has it now. He said, "Did you see all my crafts?" Oh my God, he does them too. So I was like,
I think it's a little bit of both.
I don't know if it would be a tradition or hereditary, but crafts kind of run down.
I always want to make Christmas decorations instead of buying it. It's like I'd rather go make them. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, at Halloween, that's another tradition. When my nephews were younger, they were 7 and 9. One Halloween, I made Halloween dinner, and everything was colored. So we would have purple mashed potatoes, we would have green meat, we would have yellow, orange, whatever. So I started coloring my food at Halloween dinner. So we still do that today.
That's one Halloween tradition that we do.
One Halloween tradition.
We always have a Halloween dinner.
Everything's colored.
Or it looks like something else. I could put up some pictures of like that we made a hand. We did like skulls and cigarettes.
We did cigarettes
and stuff. So all edible.
Yeah, all edible. But that's another tradition that I did when the kids were. And you know what? Those 2 kids did not eat a thing that night. So they never ate Halloween dinner that night.
Probably because it looked weird.
It looked weird. It looked gross. It was like really like bad. I mean, I had like black corn. It was like, ugh, I'm not gonna eat
that's
black
crazy.
corn. So I started that a long time ago, and I just did it every year. So I know they're used to it because we do it every year.
It seems like we're starting to create more traditions as we get older.
Correct.
We're
doing more and more, but we're making things now. Before I just colored the food we ate.
Oh yeah, now we're getting more creative.
Now we're making skulls, and we're making cigarettes, and we're making Q-tips, and we're making edible Q-tips. I mean, we're making more creative as we get older. I think that's about all I have.
Okay, let's go to my list. Okay, so I'm going to go through Christmas traditions that you may not think are traditions. Christmas tree is a tradition.
Correct.
Originated in Germany in the Middle Ages by Lutherans, and it just symbolizes eternal life. That's why people start putting up trees in their house.
I think in Belgium, they put bagels on their trees to decorate it,
I think I saw that, yeah.
I think it's Belgium where they decorate their tree. There's something about the bagel. I don't know what the symbolism is, but I think...
I don't know if I have that one.
But they do put bagels on their trees.
Also, the Christmas pickle. It actually originated in Germany as a marketing stunt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know
it's for people to buy more pickles during the holidays.
Interesting.
You put a pickle in your Christmas tree, usually an ornament or a real pickle. Usually an ornament. And the first person that finds it gets good luck through the year. That's what it's meant to symbolize. And you either get to open up the first gift on Christmas, or you get a bonus gift. And we do the bonus gift.
We do the bonus gift, yeah.
Carolers are a tradition. It originated in medieval times. They wanted to spread hope and joy through song. They would go door to door asking for permission to perform. Not only would they sing, but some would recite poetry or perform a skit. Originally, it was called wassailin. W-A-S-S-A-I-L-I-N-G. Wassailin. And they would go house to house giving out well wishes during the colder months, and no singing was involved. So it started out in colder months and then switched to Christmas.
Well, I could tell you, I was a caroler when I was younger, but I don't think I've caroled since I was like 12 years old. I don't think that kind of like went down.
Has anybody had any carolers? Because I haven't experienced any carolers.
I've been a caroler.
Let me know what country you're from and if you have carolers, because
that's interesting because
I don't see them now. I see them in movies.
Yeah, in the older movies.
Yeah, but
nowadays you don't see carolers. No. But my mother and I and the choir, we used to go around. There used to be a place, I'm sure you remember, Candy Cane Lane.
Yes. I love Candy Cane Lane.
It was a cul-de-sac, and it had 6 houses, and every Christmas they would deck out the front of their houses with either a Disney character or a cartoon that was happening that year or something, and they would have lights everywhere.
I remember some people...
used to carol around that because people would come and visit. And we would carol around the cul-de-sac, and we would actually just sing Christmas carols, and we would have tons of people there just walking around the cul-de-sac.
And I remember also that after you had us, when we were a little older, we would drive around that to see the lights, and there would be people dressed up handing out candy canes to the passing cars and everything. That's not really the only part that I remember.
Yep. But we used to walk it because it wasn't very popular, but when everybody started learning about that one cul-de-sac, that's when the traffic started getting more and more where you really couldn't park. You had to go around, but now I think that was the last time that we went. It was just cars only.
Okay.
It was just cars. You could walk it.
I wonder if they still do that. That was in Arizona.
I wonder. That was in Arizona.
Okay. Hanging stockings. Popular legend says St. Nicholas dropped 3 bags of gold down a chimney. Now, this story varies. St. Nicholas dropped 3 bags of gold down a chimney to a family that was poor. The bags of gold landed in stockings that were drying above the fireplace. Once this spread around town, children started putting stockings or shoes by the fireplace in hopes St. Nicholas would fill them.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's where that started. Now, I also read it was a poor family, or it was a father who had 3 younger kids, or it was a family who were going to sell their daughters into prostitution. There was a lot of different versions that I read, but basically St. Nicholas gave him money. And so everybody's like, give me some.
Yeah. Wow.
Christmas colors, red, green, and gold. Mm-hmm. Red symbolizes the blood of Christ. Green symbolizes eternal life. And gold symbolizes royalty as of one of the gifts of the Magi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we came up with the colors. Santa Claus. It can be traced back hundreds of years to a very nice, generous monk called St. Nicholas. Mm-hmm. He lived in Turkey and was known for giving gifts to the poor, like the gold in the stocking.
Mm-hmm.
During the Middle Ages, on December 6th, children were bestowed gifts in his honor. It was later moved to the 24th and 25th of December. Then Father Christmas dates back to the 16th century of England. He was known to spread good cheer at Christmas, bringing peace, joy, and good food and wine. So in America, St. Nicholas, was it America? Yeah. St. Nicholas merged with Father Christmas to create Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. So later, we took Santa Claus and merged him with the British and Dutch versions of the gift giver. Then in the 19th century, books, poems, songs were created that formed what we now imagine Santa to be today. So like the reindeer were thrown in there, the elves were thrown in there. So
Rudy.
So that's kind of where Santa Claus meshed together into this jolly old man that gives gifts to everybody. So those are some of the famous traditions that everybody does in the U.S. Now I went to go look for different world traditions.
Cool.
And I found some cool ones. Japan, okay? Christmas is not a national holiday there, but many people do celebrate it with KFC.
Really?
Yes.
That's their...
In Kentucky Fried Chicken, guys. In 1974, it became popular to order KFC for dinner on Christmas. Orders will take place months in advance.
Oh, wow.
And usually it's a 2-hour wait for food on Christmas.
Oh,
wow.
Colonel Santa.
Colonel Santa.
So, yeah, that's what Japan does. A big KFC holiday is Christmas.
I never knew that.
Finland. On Christmas, they would eat porridge in the morning. One of the bowls of porridge, someone would hide an almond. Whoever finds the almond in their porridge is considered to be lucky.
Interesting.
New Zealand. They have summer Christmas. Since Christmas lands in the summertime, they celebrate it with cookouts and Christmas tree called... Oh, I can't pronounce this. Can you try to pronounce that here?
Oh, Potukawa. Potukawa.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put a picture up of the tree, but it's a tree with red flowers, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That
sounds Hawaiian to me.
It does, doesn't it? Denmark, homes are decorated with superstitious characters called nisser, Nisser. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's an elf-like creature. It's set around the house for protection. On December 24th, they place their Christmas tree in the middle of the living room, and then they dance around it singing carols.
Oh, interesting. Hey, we might want to try that one out. That'd be kind of cool.
Yes, move the tree out from the wall. Norway, on Christmas Eve, people hide their brooms. It's believed witches and evil spirits come out on Christmas Eve, look for brooms to ride.
Really?
So they hide their brooms. And then, I don't know if it's Norway, but I remember... in, I guess, one of our future episodes, I talk about Christmas monsters, and there's one called a Christmas witch. So that might have a play in that. If you want to hide your brooms from.
Interesting.
Okay, Spain. This is the funniest one I kind of found so far. I can't pronounce it. Okay, I don't think I can pronounce it. It's Catalana. Catalan. Catalan. It's a Catalan log, and it poops presents on Christmas.
What?
It's a log with a face and like feet, like sticks are like feet. Okay. It has wood legs and a face, and lives under the table at the beginning of December. The kids take care of him by feeding him table scraps and covering him with a blanket to keep him warm. The more you give him, the more presents he will poop out. On Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whenever you do the tradition, the log is placed in front of a fireplace, and the kids beat the log with sticks as much as they can. Then the kids go into another room to pray for presents. Once they are done praying, they will come back to the room, and they'll come back to the room with the log in it, and the log will have pooped out gifts for them.
Oh, interesting.
Beat the log.
Where is this at?
That was Spain.
Interesting.
I think I'm right on that, but like I'll show you guys the picture of the log and everything. But I read that, I'm like, they beat him so he poops out presents. So that's their like Santa Claus.
Interesting.
Is the log they keep under the tree.
So they take care of him the whole month of December.
Yes.
And they keep feeding him.
And then beat him with presents. Okay. The last one I have is UK has Christmas crackers. It's like a Christmas piñata, and it was invented in the 1840s, and I bought some Christmas crackers. That's what these are. So we could pop some of them. After I tell you this interesting fact, I didn't know where to put it in my little notes, but Queen Elizabeth I invented the gingerbread man.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I did not know
She used the male figure cookie cutter, because they did have the gingerbread figure, but it wasn't called a gingerbread man. And then she would always use the figure on her gingerbread cookies, and it became popular.
Interesting.
So that's who created the gingerbread man, was Queen Elizabeth.
The first.
The first. Number 1. So here's our Christmas crackers. So what you're supposed to do is each one you guys grab a side.
Okay.
And then you pull.
Okay.
Do it again.
Grandma's not stuck.
And it pops. And there's supposed to be presents that come out. Which it did pop. That was pretty cool.
It did pop.
But it was loud.
Well, I don't know if this is a present. What is this?
It's a poem. Let me read it to you.
Read me the poem.
Okay.
So kids would get these during Christmas, and it took me a while to find ones that actually popped. A lot of them were non-crackers.
Jokes.
Oh, we have jokes. Okay, do.
Why did nobody bid for Rudolph and Blitzen?
Why?
Because they were too dear.
Aww.
You have more?
What is the best Christmas present?
What is the best Christmas present?
Mm-hmm.
What?
A broken drum, you can't beat it.
Who created these?
I know.
Go, Grandpa.
They're Grandpa.
It's trivia. What is the name of the toy cowboy from Toy Story?
Woody.
What's that?
Charades. Start acting silly.
Well, I don't know if I want to go that route.
Okay, do you guys want to do another one?
No, you do one with.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Pull. Is this it?
Yeah, I want to read it.
Very
this is
interesting.
pretty cool.
That
Oh,
was.
this is a different one.
I hope so. You don't want them all the same.
You're right. Why did the pony have to gargle?
I don't know. Why? What?
Because it was a little horse.
That's stupid. Grandma going to do this
Yeah.
one.
Oh, we could do this one. Okay.
Ready? Pull.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, I know you want to read it.
You're the reader.
So yeah,
I'm
so these would be
excited.
filled up with prizes, which are pretty cool.
That's pretty
We
cool.
can save the rest for Christmas.
Yes. Those are
Singing
awesome.
in the brain.
These are pretty cool. These are dad jokes.
These are.
What do you call a blind reindeer?
What?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea. No idea. Now that one's funny.
No idea.
That one I
I
like.
like that one. So does anybody have anything else to add about traditions?
Let's see what my notes say. I don't think so. I think traditions is something that you grew up with. I have one of my friends in Indiana. She celebrates Halloween and Christmas with chili and a Christmas movie, or chili. She'll make chili for that night. It's basically those two holidays.
Chili and like a Halloween movie.
And a
chili
Halloween
and
and
a Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie.
Well, that's interesting.
That's her tradition. She does it every year with her kids.
I like giving Grandpa empty gifts every year.
Empty gifts. Empty
You
boxes.
should fill up a bunch of empty boxes. And
I'll have a stack of empty boxes
It's
to
just
open.
gonna be
There will be
Wow,
nothing.
all for me?
There's a light. So, let me know your traditions below. I'm kind of curious what everybody else celebrates. I know everybody's different. So,
Another one I just thought about are fry thingies.
oh, the fried Grandpa's fried dough.
Okay.
Stuff.
My father always made, we called them fry thingies because he couldn't tell us the name of them anyway. So it's basically a pizzelli recipe, a thick pizzelli recipe. And what he does, he rolls it out like you would a pastry, and then he ties it in a bow and he deep fries it. But I literally just found out last week what the recipe was. It was a pizzelli recipe. That is an Italian tradition that probably he got from his mom, but it's a really thin cookie, and it's I have a pizzelli maker, so it's almost like a waffle maker, but it's a really thin cookie. You sprinkle it with powdered sugar, and he would always have that, like that would be for breakfast. Well, he would always make his fry thingies Christmas Eve, so we would have them Christmas Eve all the way through Christmas Day. But that would be a tradition that
Yeah, I remember
my
I always
father.
remember those on the table, and those used to be my favorite. And I kept wondering what the hell they were, and we figured out this
And we
year what it was.
just a week ago.
So if anyone wants to try pizzellis, they do sell them at Aldi's and I believe Kroger and Walmart.
They
and
sell them as
They sell
pizzellis.
them. They're like in a little pack. I'll put up a picture. But
It's a Christmas
instead
cookie
of making them
for you.
into the pizzellis, we'll make them into the dough,
Bow.
the bow thingies, the fried
bow
thingies.
ties. We do them bow ties.
Yes.
That's the only one I could think of that we forgot.
Yep. So leave your traditions down in the comments. I'm really curious on what everybody does.
I'm interested.
So if nobody has anything else to add,
No, I'm good.
bye.
Bye.